good morning. I thank everybody for joining us and those who are participating in the chat. And we will have a public participation portion, and anybody is welcome to join as a panelist at that point in time. What we wanted to do today is to continue the process of making sure that the draft is finalized, that it will be sent to the Finance and Warrant Commission for their prior to their final public hearing, discuss what, if anything, we need to do for that public hearing, and then talk about the final report and town meeting preparation. So I know that Jess has sent the copy of the final draft, and everybody had a chance to review it. I know, Jess, you saw a few typos that you brought forward. Does anybody else have any other edits? You're muted, Nancy.
Thanks, Paul. I saw just areas where there would be double spacing once the changes were accepted. I don't know if it's important to capture those now, or I don't know what you think, Pat, on that.
Oh, you're muted, Pat.
Say that again, I'm sorry.
There are areas where when we've done a strikeout and you can see the black lines through the words, I can see areas where there would now be a space, double spacing between words once all the changes are accepted.
Thank you.
So I mean, it's minor, it doesn't change the content, it's just formatting.
Nancy, I think when all of that is put together, you won't see that.
I mean, we'll see it unless we take the extra spaces out. It's, again, not content, it's purely formatting.
I would say clean that up.
I can point them out where I saw some. I think it's
I'll
really
defer to the
complete
group
stuff.
on that. I mean,
It's just a matter of housekeeping. And I also, when this is all done, I will reach out to General Code and they will format it in our charter.
Uh-huh.
Do you want to point them out, Nan? I mean, I don't know what how people feel.
Who has a control copy? I don't know if Lauren was going to.
Lauren has a control copy.
So it's not necessary to go through it right now. If she joins us, I can.
Okay. But there's no, other than some formatting and housekeeping.
No, I had already gone through prior to the last FinCom meeting, and Lauren and Pat went through it again, and they seem to have done a very good job by everything I could see. So
Lauren and I went through it page by page last Friday. And made some, I would call it minor grammatical changes, nothing substantive. And that's the copy before you. I'm not great with formatting, never have been, never will be. Man's got to know his own limitations.
I hate even bringing it up because I think somewhere it gets captured. I just don't want it for us to be stuck with it, you know, when it goes to the AG.
Yeah, I think, Nancy, that's something that we can take care of before we do that.
Good.
Just a matter of formatting.
Yep. Okay, thank you.
So the next public hearing of the FinCom is 26th, I believe. Is that?
It is. They're scheduled to meet on the 26th and 27th. I would say at this point in time, I think there's a bit of a robust agenda. So I think there's a real possibility it could go 2 nights. And I don't know what the batting order is at this point in time, but as we get closer, we should be able to let you know.
Okay. And as I am not available those nights, I have a business. I have to go down to Washington, D.C. for business purposes. So I would ask that the other committee members, when we know, attend. I think we've pretty much finished our presentation. We did address the issue they had in terms of quorum, the quorum for the FinCom. Was there any other issues do people recall that we need to address?
There's nothing that we need to initiate any follow-up on. As you mentioned, we, at our last meeting, discussed the question raised regarding the quorum for the Finance Commission, and we agreed to leave the language that we thought it was addressed what they needed, and we didn't want to break from consistency within the charter document. So other than that, I mean, they still may have questions that they didn't cover last time, but we have no new material for them.
Is that your understanding as well, Peter?
Yes, that's correct.
All right, so I guess we would just be in attendance for any follow-up questions.
That's
Yeah.
usually how the second set of public hearings goes.
Excuse me.
We can ask if they have any new issues that they'd like us to address after we get them copies of the charter.
Okay. The next item on the agenda is the final report, right? And also that wraps up with preparation, town meeting as well. And so,
Paul, I have a question before you do that, though. I thought we
Yeah.
were going to talk about what items in the charter document we consider to be housekeeping and which ones we consider to be technical. And I think we need to be prepared to answer that at the FinCom public hearing if asked.
okay.
Am I right, Pat?
Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea.
Okay. All right. So I'm welcome to have discussion on that. What in particular? I'm not sure. I thought we had already delineated what we thought was housekeeping and what we thought was
I
technical.
thought we had two, but it was on the agenda, so I didn't know if Pat and Lauren had questions.
I think Lauren wanted us to go through that again and just make sure because of some of the changes. And are we going to go through all the revisions? We're going to look at everything again this morning?
Well, we have. That's what we sent that's why we sent the copy out ahead of time. Is
Right.
that
Are we going to discuss it? Are we going to look at it as a group right now?
If you have issues you want to discuss,
do you have some, Dottie?
I don't know. I just thought we
I
could.
mean, we've looked at it, Pat and Lauren have gone through it page by page. I think we're satisfied. Is there ones articles that Lauren thought should be classified as housekeeping and not technical? I don't know what her.
so I think there needs to be a tacit understanding of what's the difference between technical and housekeeping, so that we can articulate it in front of in front of the FinCom and perhaps town meeting.
Okay. And for me, a technical one is one that is a technical change, a clarification, right? And a housekeeping is one that is grammatical or to bring something in conformity. I thought that's how we were looking at it, but
Okay.
But
Well, I think sometimes it's important to just.
I'm just one voice. Is there
Right.
people?
But I think it's good that we have a discussion that we're able to articulate that point of view. You seem to do it better than anybody.
Well, I'm not going to be there on the 26th.
I understand.
Right. So
I concur with you, Mr. Chair.
that's what it
I
is.
think excuse me, Paul, I
Go
think
ahead,
the
John.
classification of the changes is just meant to be a convenience to the community in terms of understanding that there's certain changes we think are more substantive and we wanted to highlight those and not get lost in the minutia. So, could somebody disagree as to what category one change or the other could belong to? Of course, somebody might disagree with any particular classification, but I think it's just a good faith effort on our part to break our recommendations down into some understandable groups.
Yeah, and the important thing is look at the actual change itself and see if you agree with it. Not categorizing it. At least that's the way I look at it.
Great.
We're trying to present it in a way that's most manageable for FinCom, town meeting, and residents. So
Right. What Lauren wanted to be able to do was have the redlined version clearly identify technical changes versus housekeeping, so that a shared document had things categorized, whether or not somebody might disagree with how we categorize them, as John said, but at least to show what category the changes fell into. And I don't know if Pat, when your discussions with Lauren, did she highlight any ones of particular concern?
no,
Okay.
no, we were, and to be brutally honest about it as well, we were really looking at trying to make sure there were no substantive problems with the document. And we did not find any.
Oh, so perhaps then the thing to do, if you would have one more session with her, Pat,
Sure.
and if she thinks that or you and she think that we are mischaracterizing any of them.
Yep.
Alert us. We can certainly convene a meeting, right? If we had to approve those changes. Or I don't know if the chairs could do that. I would leave that up to what's your view, Pat, of how such a thing could happen within the confines of the open meeting law.
Fair enough.
What would you have any thoughts on that, on how that would?
Well, so what I'll do is I'll try and schedule a meeting with her and just to go through and make sure that we believe the technical changes are technical changes and the administrative ones are really minor and grammatical, and see if we have a meeting of the minds on that. And if we don't, then maybe perhaps we'll ask to come back to you. But I think we're far enough along at this point in time that changes should not be great in terms of characterization.
Right.
So there's a comment in the chat, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, sure.
I think we need to address.
And what is it?
I'll read it if you'd like. Nada
Sure.
Fabrizio, 32 Webster Street. I would like to review this draft that is being discussed. Where can I find it on our website? I think that when we send this document to the FinCom, I think we should also post it on the town website, Dottie. Can that be done?
Absolutely. Do you think we should put it up right now?
I'm not opposed to doing that. No one has any problems with it in its current form, do they?
No?
No, I mean, it's a public document. I would say to put it up right now.
I would
Yeah.
encourage you to do that.
Okay. Peter, yes?
Yeah,
Did-
yes,
You agree, you concur? Oh, I'm muted.
I concur. Yes, and if there happen to be any tweaks after Pat and Lauren speak or recommended tweaks that come back to us, then we'll further update it and reflect that on the website. But for sure, no, welcome it being up there on the website.
Yep, so do I. Okay. Is that something you can take care of for us, Dottie?
Yes. Did we want to put it up right now, though, just for the public to see the document?
You can.
I have
Yeah,
no questions.
I would say, Jessica, can you? put
Yep,
that-
let me see if I can pull it up. Hold on.
Ms. Fabrizio from 32 Webster Street says thank you.
She's most welcome.
There you go.
Here you go.
I'm muted. Can you see that or
Y- y-
no?
Yes.
Yes,
But do you want me to scroll? I mean, I don't know.
I would say make it bigger on your screen and if
How do
it's
I
all-
make it bigger?
Not
Not a superstar at this.
okay, let's see. You just want to try to open up your document a little bit more to cover your whole page. Um,
Dottie, can we make sure that it gets put up on the website as well, the town website?
Absolutely. I'll do this as soon as we
Get
just-
off.
Yep.
Okay.
Can you scroll down, Jessica?
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. And I don't know, Chairman Fitzgerald, do you want to go through just,
Well, we did each section.
well, no, I mean, just for the public, just to see what we're talking about?
Well, we do, yeah, we had we, in the course of the presentation, the deck that we made for the FinCom and for the select board, we talked about the classifications of the various changes.
Can we put that deck up on the town website as well?
I can highlight the ones that are substantive, if that's what the committee would like me to do.
Oh, well, I think right now, Pat, what you're saying is just all of these documents to put them on the
Yeah,
website.
make them publicly available, yeah.
They're public records.
Yep,
I can highlight, okay, in terms of the town meeting, as the charter reflects, we are proposing that once a quorum is established at the town meeting, that quorum remain in effect and that it not be subject to challenge, so that the town meeting can conduct its business once a quorum is established. Right, that's the major change that we're making relative to town meeting. We're not making any changes to the format of town meeting. We're not making any changes to how town meeting is conducted other than the quorum. We're not proposing that it be anything other than an open town meeting. The change that we're making to the Finance and Warrant Commission, right, is that we are allowing that it be that we encourage it to be 15 members. However, it can function if less than 15 members, in order to give the town moderators the flexibility. We are also permitting the members of the Finance and Warrant Commission to become ex officio members of other town boards and commissions. I'm just highlighting the changes, right? That we're
Mhm.
making.
understood,
Yeah,
understood.
Paul,
Yes.
yeah, I'm not sure we need to like walk through all this again.
Right.
For
Right,
the
I-
purposes of this morning's call. I
Right.
appreciate the effort, but I welcome that we can post those materials
Right.
and, but for this morning, I don't
I
think
agree.
we're
I just
doing
had
it.
to know. Yeah.
Yeah, but I appreciate your effort to try to do that.
Yep.
But that's just my suggestion.
Yep.
Go on to the
We will make the deck and the charter available on the website. Does that satisfy? Should we move on?
Yes,
Mhm.
Okay. All right, in terms of preparation for town meeting, we do want to have a presentation, correct? For the town meeting. And I think it should be, my advice would be that it be a combination of PowerPoint and also narrative. Is that acceptable to the?
can I make a suggestion, Mr. Chairman?
Certainly, Mr. Hearn, yep.
So I think after we see how the FinCom votes on these proposed changes, we should
Yes.
probably have another meeting to
Yep,
talk about designing the presentation for town meeting.
I agree. Is that acceptable to the committee?
Yes.
And at the same time, we also do want to, at the finish of town meeting, after everything is done, present a final report to the select board,
Yes,
which would include, the things that we considered and didn't add, the things that we think need to be considered in future revisions, that sort of thing. And is that something the committee also is in accord with doing?
Yeah, I think that's great.
Yep. Okay, so we can, once FinCom is finished, once we know what, we can start working on that, and once we know what the town meeting actually approves, we can finalize that report. And then, at this point, I will open it up for public participation. Is there anything in the chat that we,
Not at the moment, but I'd
Does
give it a,
anyone-
maybe give it a
anyone
minute.
who's monitoring the meeting wish to speak to us or ask us a question at this time? No, I don't see any, is there anything in the chat or, no, I just want to make sure.
Oh, someone's raised their hand. I can,
Okay.
Nada's raised her hand. I'll bring her in. I'll allow her to talk.
Mhm.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Thank
Good
you.
morning to you.
I just want to make the comment that when
Could you please say your name and your address for the,
Fizio, registered Westwood voter.
okay,
I'm just saying that I would like what you're discussing. It would be very valuable to provide it in advance on the town website. So that if I do have substantive questions, I could ask them here and not have to wait until your next meeting.
well,
That's my only comment. It'd be nice to follow along. Thank you.
thank you. We will post it on the website and we will have another meeting. We'll be addressing questions at FinCom. We will have another meeting, at least one before town meeting, and we will be, of course, willing to, happy to address any issues at town meeting. Anybody else?
I do not see anything else, Paul.
Okay. Thank you. The next item we have is the discussion of the open meeting law matter. Pat?
Yeah, so I've discussed this with Lauren. Lauren's heading this up for us. And my discussions with Lauren basically settle in terms of our response. That I believe our response will look something like this. It's that the Attorney General has jurisdiction over open meeting law violation, but not public participation. That's point one. Point two, one of the requests is that the comments or the comment that was not is the source of the open meeting law violation. We have a screenshot of it, and I believe we plan to attach that screenshot to the minutes. So that's that. And the third request is that a member be removed from offices or offices. Only through a recall petition can someone be removed from elected offices. The Attorney General does not have jurisdiction to remove people from elected office. And only the appointing authority can remove someone from an appointed position. So the Attorney General does not have authority to do that. So that's going to be the genesis of our response. And I will circulate a written copy to every member before we send it in, or have Lauren do it. And I'm happy to answer any questions accordingly from the committee.
Thank you. Any questions? No. And okay, and so that is going to, yeah, the minutes will reflect that comment in its entirety. So that's my understanding.
That's fine.
Mr.
Yeah,
Chair, I have a question.
yes.
So in the minutes, I typed verbatim what the screenshot said. I did not post the screenshot. So should I change that and we can vote on those next time we meet, the 20th of February?
Mr. Hearn, I will refer that to you.
Well, it's not my call. It's your call. The voting members of the committee approved the minutes. So the last time we spoke, we said, I believe the consensus was that it should not be part of the minutes, but should be attached. The screenshot should be attached.
That's
Peter,
my,
Can I just
that's
chime
my
in? I would
error.
say,
And,
let's,
and you,
Peter,
Yeah,
yeah, Peter,
you-
no, Peter, go ahead, Peter, yes.
Jess, it's not an error. You were trying to reflect what what we were talking about. So it's not an error. No, I think let's do the screenshot so then there's no question as to, well, did they transcribe the comment verbatim? Even though you did, I don't want, we've given this enough
Mhm.
time, and it's been it's an unwarranted attack and criticism. And so I think let's just include a screenshot of the comment, so then there's no question that that comment is reflected, included in our minutes, and we can move on.
and we don't have to wait to meet again to approve those minutes. Someone can make Mr. Cahill could make a motion to approve those minutes with the change that he recommends.
The amendment. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so moved.
But yeah, that's an accident. So Member Cahill moves that we approve the minutes of, and the date again was, what was the date? Was that the 20th?
February 20th as amended.
As amended to include a actual copy of the comment that was posted. Is there a second to that? Seconded by Member Lockney. And we will do a roll call vote.
Well, before you do that, Lauren's trying to get into the meeting.
Lauren,
Hey
Good morning.
guys, how are you?
good morning.
Sorry, thought we were starting at 8:30.
Oh, okay.
I should read my emails more. But here I am at 8:30. I'm so sorry I missed it. Did you guys, I heard you were talking about minutes. Did you talk about the open
So
meeting?
I went through the response that the AG doesn't have jurisdiction over public participation, and that we plan to attach a copy of the statement to our minutes.
Screenshot.
Screenshots, pardon me, I lost the word there. And that the Attorney General does not have the authority to move an elected officer from their elected office, or only the appointing authority has the ability to remove an appointee from their position. So the Attorney General cannot do that. So that's, well, I was taught well, Lauren. So,
I found two great Attorney General decisions to basically say, like, that's completely up to the board to decide whether it's going to allow public participation and how it will. And I think the only thing that I was kind of thinking about was we invited public participation, and so would that change the Attorney General's kind of perspective on things? And the answer is absolutely not. So I'll circulate those two opinions, but I'll draft up a response that includes it. And I feel pretty confident, as I heard Peter say, that this is an unwarranted attack that can be fended off.
Mr. Chairman, there is a comment in the chat. I believe that we weren't planning on taking public comments, but I want to make you aware of it, and you can decide whether you want to take this public comment or not.
I don't see it. Yeah. I'm trying to find it. Which is the comment. In the minutes, it should also be stated that my intentionality, my comment was omitted. I don't know if, is it the comment from Ms. Fusco?
The complainant, yes.
In the minutes, it should also be stated that intentionally my comment was omitted. I'm not sure that I thought what we did was we paraphrased what we thought the question was.
If I may.
Yes.
Yeah, Paul, I think we've had our public comment section. we're trying to accommodate, and now this is not, we're in a section where it's our committee is meeting, and as much as you want to try to accommodate, like, I think we need to move on. Like,
Okay, thank you. Thank you.
this is becoming a bit absurd.
Lauren, did you want to say anything or?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
We do have a motion to approve the minutes with a screenshot of the comment attached. That motion has been made by member Cahill, seconded by member Loughnane. I will call a roll call on that. Member Powers? You're muted, Dottie. Member Powers?
Sorry, yes.
Member Loughnane?
Yes.
Member Cahill?
Yes.
Member Hyde is
Yes.
yes. And the chair also votes in the affirmative. So the minutes of the February 20th meeting are approved with the attachment of the comment. And I think we also need to approve the minutes of February 26th, right?
That's correct. This select board meeting.
Select
I'll
board
move approval.
Move approval made by member Hyde. Is there a second? Seconded by member Loughnane. I will call a roll call. Member Powers,
Yes.
member Loughnane,
Yes.
member Hyde,
Yes.
member Cahill,
Yes.
and I will abstain because I was not present at that meeting. And the next one is the minutes of the February 27th meeting in which we attended. It's along with the Finance and Warrant Commission. Has everybody had a chance to review those minutes?
I move approval.
Moved by member Hyde. Is there a second?
Second.
Second.
Second by member Powers. I will call a roll. Member Powers,
Yes.
member Loughnane,
Yes.
member Cahill,
Yes.
member Hyde,
Yes.
and I will abstain because I was also not present at that meeting. The next and final minutes we have to approve is from our meeting of last Wednesday, the 6th. Has everybody had a chance to review those minutes?
I move approval.
Member Hyde moves to approve those minutes. Is there a second? Seconded by member Loughnane. I'll call a roll. Member Powers,
I abstain. I wasn't at that meeting.
member Loughnane,
Aye.
member Hyde,
Aye.
member Cahill,
Yes.
and the chair also votes in the affirmative. And then next item on the agenda is other business not anticipated by the chair. The only thing I want to do, Lauren, since earlier we had asked you and Pat to review once more the charter in terms of making sure that you believe that what we're classifying as technical changes reflect what our definition of technical changes, and what we believe to be housekeeping changes reflect our definition of housekeeping changes. And if you have any revisions or tweaks or that you want us to consider and how we classify those, to let us know, and we can do that in a meeting, open meeting, in a public meeting.
Pat, I don't know, what
I,
your
I,
perspective-
I described how we went through the charter last week.
Yep.
And I think we're in a very good spot or place. And there's some ambiguity, I think, between, or concern that people will have a problem with whether it's a technical or administrative change. That really goes to characterization, not to substance. And I think it's time to focus on the substance. That's my view of the world. And others can disagree with me. That's fine. I understand. But we're trying to provide the information so people can make an informed decision. How we categorize it for warrant articles is more an administrative function than anything else.
Agreed.
Is there any other new business?
There's one comment, additional comment in the chat, Mr. Chairman, if you want to, it's from Ms. Fabrizio again.
I don't know.
I would just read it, Paul.
Okay, is it the one absurd, come on, Chris?
Yes,
I don't know to what that is referring. I don't
nor
know
do I.
how to respond.
Does she want to improvise on that?
She left the meeting.
I don't know what it refers to, so I
Can't answer the question.
thank you. Is there any other new business? No, then I will accept the motion to adjourn, and if after Pat and Lauren have their final read through, if there's anything they think we need to discuss, we will duly notice a meeting. But I agree on the technical and the housekeeping. I think we felt that we characterized them correctly based on what the definition of that was. But if you see anything, please let us know.
We will do that.
I will accept the motion to adjourn.
So
So-
moved.
Moved by Member Hyde, seconded by Member Powers. Take a roll call vote. Member Powers,
Yes.
Member Lockney,
Yes.
Member Hyde,
Yes.
Member Cahill,
Yes.
and the chair also votes in the affirmative. Thank you all. We're adjourned. Thank you, Jess.
Bye,
Thank-
everyone. So sorry for
Thank-
my oversight.
It's okay, Lauren.
Lauren, it's all right.
See you,
Thanks.
Lauren.
Have a good day.
You too.